So they said, oh, the reason why you're stuck with all this produce is because the Jews alienated all your customers. He was very angry, and his anger built up so long until he decided that he's going to take revenge on the Jews. The Paritz comes out and says, we're calling it off. There's not going to be any pogrom, no attack. MITZVAH, everybody. Welcome to another week of one of the Malka stories. Thank you for being here. Let's begin with tonight's story. So, the Tzaddik of Sadiger, who was the son of the Heilige Rishonah, he told the story of the Baal Shem Tov. And the story goes like this. The Baal Shem Tov would, every single year, he would visit a certain town. Every single year, at a certain time of the year, and he would stay by the rich person who lived there. There was a certain guy who was known to be the wealthy man of the town, and so he would stay. Now, one time he came to that town not on the regular time, right before Shabbos. And I guess the shul over there had a place where people were able to stay, some rooms, and he booked a room. So the rich guy who the Baal Shem Tov always stayed by him went to the Baal Shem Tov and asked him if he could come to him. But the Baal Shem Tov said no. This time he's going to stay in the shul. And everybody, when they hear the Baal Shem Tov is in town, they come to shul. And the Baal Shem Tov said that they should say Tehillim. First they davened, Ma'ariv, and then the Baal Shem Tov said that they should say Tehillim. Now, close to Chatzos, so instead of going home and eating, they're saying Tehillim all the way until midnight. At midnight, Chatzos, the Baal Shem Tov tells someone to bring him the meal, tells everybody there that they should go home and eat their Shabbos meal, and after the Shabbos meal, they should come back. So everybody did exactly that. They came back to shul and they continued to say Tehillim all the way until the morning, at which point they davened Shacharis. And then they finally, the Baal Shem Tov said that he's gonna go to the rich man's house and they'll eat over there. And when everyone was eating at the Shabbos table, so the Baal Shem Tov all of a sudden, and it was already at a point where it wasn't, so serious. They weren't saying Tehillim. They were eating and enjoying, and all of a sudden, a non-Jewish man walks in and asks for something, an alcoholic beverage to drink, and the Baal Shem Tov tells him to tell everyone what he knows. Tell him, where he's coming from, what's going on. So, and this is what this non-Jewish man tells them. Yesterday, in the evening, the landlord, the nobleman who owned all the land in the entire province, told all of the nearby city. He spoke to all the farmers, all the villagers in the nearby cities, told them to come together. They should arm themselves, and they're going to go and do a full-scale pogrom in the town. And the whole night they're waiting for the order to attack. And close to morning, a certain wagon comes. A man who looked like a nobleman, like a lord, and he went inside of the house into the landlord, the Paritz's house, with him, and they spoke for a little bit, and afterwards the Paritz comes out and says, we're calling it off. There's not going to be any pogrom, no attack, and everybody went away. So Baal Shem Tov explained further, right? He explained what was really going on. What happened was that this nobleman, this landlord who wanted to hurt the Jewish people, why did he want to hurt the Jews? He had, from all his fields, from all his land, he had a lot of produce. Because he was rich, he didn't care to give competitive prices because he already had money. So he didn't need the money. He looked at it as extra profit, and so he didn't want to sell it for a lower price. And people couldn't afford it, so they didn't buy from him. And because of that, he had a lot of produce for many years until after a while it started to rot. And people around him who didn't like Jews, who were Jew haters, as we see today. So many people are so keen on blaming the Jews for all their problems. So they said, the reason why you're stuck with all this produce is because the Jews, they convinced people not to come to you. They alienated all your customers. And therefore, you don't... you're stuck with this produce. He was very angry, and his anger built up so long until he decided that he's going to take revenge on the Jews. So what did I do? So that's why I said that we have to say Tehillim. That's why I came here. That's why we had to do all this. And I had no other choice, but the Baal Shem Tov says I had no other choice but to bring a person who had already passed away. It says 40 years. And this person happened to have went to school with the parrots, with the local landowner. And they were good friends. And so he visited him. And since they lived far away, so this local landlord the local parrot didn't know that he passed away. And when the nobleman who visited, but when the nobleman's friend visited and saw all these people standing outside with the weapons, he said, "What are you organizing over here?" So he said, "What happened?" And the dead nobleman says, he says, what are you talking about? I do business with Jews all the time. They're upright people. Watch, you're going to sell it to them, invite them after their Sabbath, invite them to buy produce from you, and they'll even buy the rotten stuff. And that's when the parrots told everyone to go home. Now, the tzaddik who said this story, the tzaddik of Shadiger, who his brother was also there, he said, apparently it doesn't make sense. The Baal Shem Tov didn't have to go to this town to make this happen, right? The Baal Shem Tov was a very holy man, and he was able to affect many, many miracles. So why did he have to go to the town to do that? He could have stayed where he was, told his close disciples who were great tzaddikim to sit and say Tehillim and do everything that needed to be done, and to make it that the dead nobleman, should come and visit his friend. And the truth is that he could have, but the Baal Shem Tov said that if I am going to be successful in saving this Jewish community, then good. But if not, then I'm going to join them in their fate, because that's how much they mean to me. I'm not going to be a friend from afar or someone who loves them from afar. I'm going to share their fate no matter what their fate is. And obviously the Baal Shem Tov was able to share their fate, which was happy, which was a good ending. Just like Moshe Rabbeinu said that if you're going to destroy the Jewish nation, then you might as well erase me from your book. That's what a true leader is. May we all be able to demonstrate such leadership with ourselves, and with, every one of us are leaders, whether on a big scale or on a small scale. At the very least, we're supposed to be leaders who lead our personal lives. Everyone has to lead his own personal life the right way, and that requires leadership. And that if you have a family, and if you have a micro community, or even if you're have more of an influence, this is what it means to be a leader. To not to be above, but to be with. And may we merit to see the coming of our leader Mashiach very, very soon. And may we have a beautiful week. MITZVAH, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. Oh, please like and subscribe. And consider supporting the channel. MITZVAH, everybody.